CherieHanson here. We had sunshine out this morning, and Todd went out to frolic and hunt or whatever he does. We don't talk about it. What he does in the yard is his business and not mine. So I really was feeling tugged in like three directions today. It was interesting. When you're really focused on your energy and reading your energy and the messages in your body, you come to see the complexity of it. It's like a weather system or the topography of a continent. And the thing that I was feeling was mostly I'd picked up a bit of a cold. You can hear. I'll try to be as clear as I can. And also a feeling of overwhelm because I've been around more people lately. And that always sends me into the interviewing mode. Will you get to the place where you can be around a lot of people frequently and it won't be depleting? And the answer is, leave me alone. Stop interviewing me. Just let me be what I am right now. It's like the focus is so intense. It's like an MRI. What are you feeling? Why are you feeling it? What are you supposed to do next? And I just keep going, no. I watched A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie. And the thing that happened when I was watching that was it was kind of like a calling to me. A calling to my writer self. I started writing when I started writing. Do you get what I'm saying? I started writing when I first began to be able to write. I would write poems. I would make little books and stick them under the bed because they were private, none of my mother's business. And I would hear my thoughts in, some kind of lyrical Coleridge form of tale, of fable. So I began very early in my life being immersed in the heavy mist of the metaphor. It's always been the direction that my thoughts go, that my words go, that my expression goes. And as I was scanning myself, doing the MRI, the autopsy, the interview, I was feeling something that was asking me to let it be born, or let it come out, or let it show itself. So this is what was happening with me today. I call them little linkings of yearning. The little tiny feeble first shoots of yearning. So you lay under the ground, the seed is there, you've got your shell and your structure, you've got everything you need to grow into whatever you're supposed to have been. And these shoots start coming out and they keep taking me someplace else. Like, you're meant to be a poppy. What if I don't want to be a poppy? What if I want to be a big, glorious peony with just massive, rococo blossoms bravely spreading out. And so I am very careful not to, to examine, to make sure it isn't the work addiction coming back dressed up in a masquerade, in a disguise. You need to do more. No, I did that, and it almost killed me multiple times. So I sat with it and I thought, what's happening is I'm feeling the new. I'm feeling the shift. I'm feeling the energy on the earth, which is transforming. And as I was sitting in his movie, I was crying copiously because I understood what it's like to have your head flooded with words, with poems, with visions, with stories, with tales. I remember once I was walking across the greens at Western Washington College when I was going there. And it was a really interesting time in my life. I was teaching English 100, and what I was exploring was every single day I would look a different way. I would dress up as if I were a Japanese person. I had clothing that could do that. I had things that looked like a Victorian housekeeper. I had my braids in Heidi with the ribbons on the end. Every day I went in just presenting myself in a different disguise. And I look back on that now, and I think about how I'm constructed with metaphors. That's my path, metaphors. So I am 19 years old, teaching English 100, and what I'm doing is literally trying on different personas to see how they feel, to see how they presented. And as I was walking across the green, a leaf fell just then at my feet. And I bent down and I was interviewing the leaf. I wasn't talking out loud. I've kept myself out of the asylum all these years. I've learned how to pass for functionally normal. And I'm asking the leaf in my mind, what are you trying to show me? Why did you fall just now at my feet? Is this a message? Is this a sign? Is this some kind of reminder that we have to be in the now, or we're going to miss all of the metaphors and the signals and the symbols that come to us? And as I was crouched down, I picked up the leaf and carefully put it in my purse. And a professor was walking past, and he said, "Oh," he said, "you remind me of what I have forgotten. You remind me of how I was in a place of wonder when I was younger, and I have lost that." I was just looking back on it now, I'm just going, oh my God, I am being myself. I am reacting to this leaf and interviewing it and having a really deep spiritual connection with it. And this, world-weary professor who has done the same thing year after year after year and doesn't even notice the trees anymore, let alone the one leaf that falls at your feet, is reminded of his higher self, he is reminded of his lost ability to be in a state of wonder. And I think this is really what's starting to happen for me now at the age I am, is I'm starting to replay things that have happened to me, like on a movie screen. And I'm starting to get more understanding of what really happened there, of the exchange of energy, of the teaching one soul to another, of the path that I chose to walk. And it's not with judgment. It's just very, very interesting to look at these things and go, oh my God, there was a purpose in this. And this morning I was sitting there with the image of Bob Dylan sitting and writing and writing and writing and committing himself to the words that are appearing in his head. And I'll do the reference of AC/DC with balls to the wall to be true to who he is. And it really stayed with me. This sense of following the calling. What are you called to? And so I was writing to a friend this morning. I really want to give more space for my writing, for my expressing of the rich movies that are going on in my head, and share them in a way that isn't so protective, that isn't so fearful, that isn't so, I'm here reading my audience. I want my audience to love me and kiss my owies. Years of neglect. Come here, it's right here. Come and kiss it. And so I found out, if I just let myself go this morning, that I was writing quite a bit. And as I was writing, I noticed how my critic comes up. My ego mind about, what you're writing, no one will understand. What you're writing isn't good enough. What you're writing isn't true to the reality that other people live in. And I have to say something about one of my friends. I do love her. She said to me one day, you do know, of course, that your reality is not something most people ever experience. I was telling her how I go out into the world, meet the most amazing people, and people who are focused on growth and love and compassion and moving through the world in a mindful way. And I thought that was such a vote of confidence. Thank you. So I'm going to read to you today some of the things I wrote without censure, editing, criticism, trying to write. The first one, a short one. We will always funnel through. We will always screen through a sieve. We will always stop the possibilities we did not know before until we trust ourselves to run amok without armor through a battlefield of concepts. And the second one that appeared, when we say it is never too late, what we are really saying is time is a prison. We are captured by the iron bars of scarcity, squished flat by the giant delusional insufficiency. We are injecting ourselves with fear, but so far gone, we don't even notice. Get the hell out. Get the hell out of town. Run like your hair is on fire. But it is only your brain encased in fossil fuels, the seeking for truth that keeps us so lost. Get the hell away from all of it and sit down next to a dead twig, asking for advice. Spirit calls us, not like flipping cheerleaders, the sex-promising babes with "caught you" eyeing my flashing metallics pom-poms. Spirit calls us when we slow down enough to hear the breeze in the trees, the leaves undead, mythic, moving along the ground, the tales of the ancestors beating drums, so distant we must stand stock still to hear. The whispers when we submit expertly to the smooth surface of rocks. We break down. While I was sitting in the bathtub today, I saw that I cast 3 shadow shapes, each lighter than the first. I saw that I was many things. I heard the Spirit teach me about the translucency of self. Breathe in the space, filling yourself with nothingness. It is where we begin. And so I share with you those things that came to me this morning. I do know that we're on a new path. For each of us, we have to know enough about ourselves to know which yearnings to treasure, which thin acid green shoots we should nourish and take care of, and what our higher self is asking. It wants us to help it be born. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, I ask you to subscribe. I also appreciate thumbs up, comments, and share. If you see something that you think can be like an unguent on a rash that somebody else is carrying, a nice soothing cream of YouTube video, do share it. Get a hold of me if you would like life coaching, if you would like to draw up a contract for the new you, for the emerging you, and we can get on that, you and I together. And I say to you, I appreciate you.